It was probably no coincidence that the first two-parter in this show's production order is about the origin of Two-Face. We had seen Harvey Dent set up in a couple episodes previously, a quick cameo in the show's first installment, On Leather Wings, and a more prominent role in Pretty Poison. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded another few episodes setting him up before we got to Two-Face, but we definitely got enough to know who he is before his fall from grace. Harvey is running for re-election and finally closing in on taking down mob leader Rupert Thorne. However, Dent has recently been losing his temper at friends, enemies, anyone who's gotten in his way. We find out through his therapy sessions that the DA has another personality inside him called Big Bad Harv. This dark side of Dent represents all his repressed anger and aggression that wasn't properly dealt with for his entire life, and he's getting stronger. Thorne eventually finds out about Dent's diagnosis and ends up calling Harvey on election night. He attempts to blackmail the public official for favors from the DA's office if he wants his therapy sessions kept quiet. An accident at the chemical plant results in Harvey sustaining severe damage to his face, and when he sees himself in the mirror, things are never the same again. This is a landmark episode for the series, not only for setting up Two-Face, but for how far the writers were willing to go to show their dedication to character. Harvey is definitely the star of this installment, not Bruce or Batman. It's his story. While you can argue how realistic the split personality explanation is, it works within the confines of the show and is a pretty interesting angle on Two-Face's origin. The dream sequence starts this episode off on a menacing note.
Stop it! Stop it, I said! It's time, Harvey.
The character has been interpreted in many different ways throughout his nearly 80-year history. While I liked Aaron Eckhart's version in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, the Two-Face in that movie was more of an extension of the Joker's master plan than a self-sufficient villain in his own right. The first time I saw that film, I really thought they were setting up Harvey as the villain for the next movie, but as we know, that wasn't the plan, and we only got a few minutes of Two-Face depravity. His motivations for going bad were well done, obviously, but the Two-Face in Batman the Animated Series feels more like a complete character to me. It's just more of a challenging and engaging origin. But I mean, nothing beats Tommy Lee Jones, right?
Our kind of day.
The last time we saw Harvey, he was dating Poison Ivy, and now he's engaged to a woman named Grace. For what it's worth, I really like this character's positioning in the story. Her concern and pleas for Harvey to get help show that Dent had a lot going for him. We're also again shown how close Bruce and Harvey are. All that makes his descent even more tragic.
Well, Harvey and I go way back. He's a great DA. And an even better friend.
The animation here is top-notch. Several scenes showcase the beautiful movement and designs. That full Two-Face reveal says it all with no words required. Of course, the music does a great job of setting up the tone too, and Two-Face's theme is minimalistic but effective on different levels. We have to mention Richard Mall and his versatile voice acting as both Harvey and Big Bad Harv. His range is very impressive. The emotion he put into his performance also can't be understated.
Let go of me, you rich twit!
Harvey!
Bruce, I'm sorry. I don't know what... Excuse me.
Plus, he's the voice of the Bat-Computer, which has its own moments later on in the show. I think we all know how great this two-parter is. Part 1 is a fantastic setup for what comes in Part 2 and the Two-Face character for the rest of the series. It also features one of my favorite quotes in this whole show.
Harvey, no.
It's a good no. It's one of the best no's. I just love it. The delivery is delectable. Anyway, we'll see you right back here for Two-Face Part 2 next time on Batmay.